If you guys are looking for a great bang for your buck bodyweight exercise that's going to help you break a good sweat, build your abs a lot more than you think, and get you just plain moving, look no further than the classic old school mountain climber. The mountain climber is actually a great exercise that's underestimated in how it's going to make you faster, make you a better athlete, get those feet really moving quickly. The one thing we want to do when we do the mountain climber is get the little nuances down. That way you can get the most out of the move and you're not just moving pointlessly. We're going to show you how to get all that done right now. So we've got Brett here to help me demo the mountain climber. And as I said before, this is something that's going to make you more athletic. It's going to make you faster if you do it right. So what we want to do is not just think of this as a mountain climber, but think of it as an athletic position where you're going to get to train a lot of speed, sprint, running fundamentals, because that's what we get to do here. And it starts with this initial position, which is when you're running, you want that tight core. You want to basically be a really tight, controlled plank. And this is a push-up position plank, which is where Brett starts. So let's run through a couple things about how he's positioning himself, because that's the key here. He's going to really focus on turning on his lats. To do that, he's really going to turn his elbows forward. He's going to work on that, and then he's also making sure that his wrists are directly under his shoulders. That's one common mistake you're going to see people make in the mountain climber, where all of a sudden their wrists wind up in front of their shoulders. Let's give them a bad kind of plank position here, Brett. Show them what that looks like. Their wrists wind up in front of their shoulders. That is neither a shoulder-safe position, nor is it a position that's really getting the most out of your core in your mountain climber. The other thing, once he's gotten this upper body position right, he's going to make sure that he really squeezes his abs and then he squeezes his glutes. And he's going to try to maintain this as he begins to do the mountain climb. Those are the key things you want to really watch here. The final two things you want to watch here. One, look at where he's looking. He's not looking at me. He's not looking up. When you're running, there's no virtue in looking up at the sky. He's looking directly at the ground, keeping a nice neutral spine, and he's going to continue looking at the ground as he begins to do the mountain climber. The last thing he's going to do, let's watch this position that he has here. His shoulders are higher than his hips. At worst, when you're doing a mountain climber, you want your hips and shoulders to be in line with each other. Ideally, you want your shoulders just a tad higher than your hips. You're going to keep focusing on making sure that your shoulders stay right above your wrists and that your shoulders are higher than your hips the entire time. This is your starting position for the mountain climber, and now we're all set up to do reps. So now we got Brett set up in that mountain climber position, that good tight push-up position. Now we're ready to start to get into the motion of the mountain climber. Again, the things that Brett's thinking about, he wants to make sure those hips stay lower than his shoulders, and that's going to take a little bit of core tension. He's going to really make sure to keep that core tension as he does it. Brett is really going to focus on driving those knees high. Again, we're thinking sprint mechanics here. We're thinking be fast and powerful. Don't just shift your legs forward a little bit. Actively try to drive them powerfully towards your torso. This doesn't need to be super fast. You don't need to try to rush the motion. What you want to do is maintain all those core principles and keep driving those knees aggressively high. Work to be powerful as you're doing this. You're really driving those knees up high, and when you come back, you're driving that back leg into a straight position. Do that every time. Focus on technique as opposed to getting a lot of sloppy strides. You don't want to get sloppy with those strides, and you also don't want to mess up the mountain climber in some other ways either. Again, you're going to see a lot of people, as their upper body is fatigued, you're going to see them shift backwards. You're going to see them shift their whole torso backwards into basically a downward dog style mountain climber. Now, this is not really making you more athletic. You're not really getting to hit your core. So focus again on really staying in that tight push-up position even as you're getting fatigued. It's better to have to slow down your pace on the mountain climber, even take them slower just so you can maintain good, strong position, so you can focus on wrists over shoulders again. These are your two big cues as you do this. Get those two things right and you'll have the mountain climber. Nice and patient and controlled, not rushing it. That's a mountain climber, and that's how you should execute it every time. A really basic move that you can take anywhere with you. A ton of applications for it too. The great thing, whatever you're doing, however you're using it, you're really going to build that core out with it. A couple ways you can get it in. If you're in your hotel room or if you're just at the park, set a timer for 6 minutes. Go 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. Make sure you're really going hard for those 20 seconds. Expect to really break a good sweat from that. Or you can easily just turn this into a well-rounded core workout, throw in a hollow hold. Say go 5 minutes, go 30 seconds of mountain climbers, again, going really hard, focusing on your positioning, and then go 30-second hollow hold to breathe. Get that done. You'll feel it in your core. However you do it, make sure you get this move in your repertoire. It's really good to have. Let's build that body.